This is a technology preview of the Kusama Forum, an on-chain forum for the Kusama community to coordinate. It is powered by Polkadot SDK, the content palette, Acuity Index, IPFS, and Svelte. So the first thing I'm going to show you is what happens when we edit a piece of content on the forum. So what we're looking at here is my profile, and I want to put in my full name, and I'm going to change the image. I will publish a new transaction. And we can see that I now have revision 3 and my name and my image has been updated. So how did that actually work? Well, if we look at the debug information, we can see that we've encoded the language, the name, and we've encoded the IPFS hashes of the image at various resolutions, various bitmaps. And then this all gets encoded and it gets stored in IPFS at this content ID. So what happens next is that this hash, this content ID, is sent to the publish revision method in the palette content on the blockchain. So this method gets called, and we can see we're updating an existing item. So it loads the item from state, and then it does a few checks, and then it simply it updates the latest revision ID, because it just stores the minimum amount on chain possible, and then it outputs an event. And the most important thing about this event, so it's published new revision, and this stores the IPFS hash. So we don't actually store the hash, the content ID, on the blockchain. In order to save space, in order to save on transaction fees, these hashes, they pass through the blockchain. They're in the transaction going in, and they're emitted as events, but they're not actually stored in state. So how does the front end actually get hold of these hashes before the content can be retrieved from the IPFS network? Well, we're running the Acuity Index. So if I scroll up, we should see in this block there was 6 events, 10 keys. So this will be the block where I edited my profile. And if we look at the index schema that we're currently using with Acuity Index, we can see that for the publish revision event, we are indexing by item ID. So what this means is that the front end can just query the index for all of the publish revision events with a specific item ID, and then it gets all the revisions and the IPFS hash of each revision. So if we go back to the front end, we can see that we're now on revision 3. And that's how it gets loaded. So we can go back through the revisions. In fact, even on the view content page, so I can go back through the previous revision. So that's how the system works on the Kusama Forum for loading and editing content. And this applies for the profile, the forum categories, forum posts, and forum comments. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you is the content hierarchy on the forum. So at the top of the content tree, you have the forum itself. So here we have the Kusama Forum. So I can click on that, and as we can see, so I created this forum, and therefore I can be the administrator, I can edit the forum, I can add categories and so on. So let's make category 2. Okay, so the forum now has category 2. And once you have a category, then anybody can actually make a post. So if I just switch to another development user, let me just make sure we trust each other. And so I'm going to make the first post in this category. I can say Kusama rocks. Okay, so then I publish that. And so we're currently looking at the first post. If I go back to category 2, so we can see I have made the first post. So let's switch to another user. Let's try to make a comment. Okay, so we now have a comment, and of course you can reply. Let's reply to that comment with another one. Let's say okay, so we have a post in a category, the post has a comment, and the comment has another comment. And one more thing I can show you is that, well, we can actually, we can have multiple revisions of the comments. So let's make an update to that comment. And we can switch between the revisions. And the next thing I can show you is the emoji reactions. And of course, in this configuration, we're using the Polkadot browser extension. So I have to sign each transaction individually. Of course, there's other ways this can be done so that you can unlock your account and then you don't have to individually sign each transaction, which can get a bit tiresome. Let's add another emoji reaction. And interestingly, the emoji reactions are attached to the specific revision. So if I switch to the previous revision, I don't see them. And additionally, let's add another one. And so you can see how the emoji reactions of all of the users are brought together for the count. Okay, so I just updated the active account dropdown. So it now displays the name from the profile if the account has a profile. Otherwise, it simply displays the name provided by the Polkadot browser extension. So what I'm going to show you now is the trusted accounts functionality. So the main purpose of this is an anti-spam mechanism because you don't want to be seeing content from anybody. So each user maintains a social graph. So everyone has a list of accounts that they trust. And so if you're looking at a specific piece of content, in order for it to appear or for it to appear in a feed, either you have to trust the author directly or there has to be an intermediary. So you trust someone and that person trusts the author. So if I switch to the Coconut account, so we're looking at the Coconut profile, and now we switch back to my account, so we can see we have this, this shield logo. So currently, I do not trust Coconut, but if I click here, I can sign the transaction, and now I directly trust Coconut. So if my account is the active account, anytime there is content from Coconut, so that will just appear. However, let's say I want to look at content by Baby Gorilla. If I switch back, so I can always see the profile, but if I look at other content by Baby Gorilla, it will not appear. But if we have an intermediary, I will be able to see the Baby Gorilla's account. So if I switch to Coconut, and I will trust Baby Gorilla by Coconut, and now, okay, let's go to Baby Gorilla and then switch to my account. Hold on. There we go. So as my personal account, if I look at Baby Gorilla, we can see that we have an intermediary. So trusted that trusts. So I trust Coconut, and trusted trusts Baby Gorilla. So as it says, profile visible through your extended one-hop trust graph. So this is just a very simple way to build a circle of trust to use as an anti-spam mechanism when you're browsing the Kusama Forum. Okay, I hope you liked that technology preview of the Kusama Forum. And the next step is I need to have a hosted version so that everybody can try it out. So I'll make an announcement when that's available. So thanks very much.